Hey guys, welcome back to Smoking Palace Barbecue. Paul here with you again today. Today continues my foray into pork ribs as I do some Louisiana style pork ribs today. Now this looks at two things I've been doing recently. I'm highly confident after my Texas style ribs the other day. And also I've been experimenting with making glazes and the like. So the Louisiana ribs gives me both options. So I've created my my rub here, very paprika based. Most of the, one thing I've noted, I haven't been to Louisiana. I will put that right out there straight off the bat. I have had Louisiana ribs in the US and I remember them being spicy. So please don't yell at me for not having much more knowledge than that. I am seeing how we go. One thing I have noticed with the rub, I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera there, not very much brown sugar in the recipes that I looked at. Strong paprika based and with some oregano and thyme in there as well. All the other usual stuff, garlic powder, mustard powder, onion powder, little bit of chili as well to start that hotness. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my rub here. I'm going to use a mustard binder, just a mustard binder. I'll put the rub on. I'm going to cook them unwrapped at 107 or 225 for about 5 or 6 hours. A lot of the recipes I did see did call for it to be wrapped after the 3 hour mark, so the 3-2-1 method. And when you wrap them, a lot of them did say add some honey. There is honey in the glaze. I personally, and I think here in Australia, our ribs aren't really big enough to be 3-2-1 wraps. Whenever I've done that, they tend to just fall apart. And I like my ribs a little bit so you can cut them and actually chew them and get the flavour of them without just ending up with pork rib mince or ground pork rib meat on the board. So I'm not wrapping mine, but if you like the 3-2-1 method, absolutely go for that. All right, so I'm going to add the rub here. I won't make you sit around and watch me while I do all that, but I am going to add the rub to it. I've taken the membrane and stuff off the back as well, and once that is done, I will throw that in the smoker and I'll come back and we'll talk about the glaze. Speak to you then. Okay, we are back and it's time to make the glaze. I'm going to make the glaze now, simmer it down and then let it sort of thicken a little bit and work ready to put on the ribs in a couple of hours time. In here I've already got half a cup of apple cider vinegar, half a cup of brown sugar. I need a half a cup of some, it says Louisiana hot sauce. I looked that up because I didn't have any, and I got Frank's Red Hot sauce. I think you can get a Louisiana style of that one. A quarter cup of honey, which I'll have to dig out in a second. And then also a couple of tablespoons of of Worcestershire sauce, which is about that. And then tiny little bit, about a teaspoon or so of paprika. So that is what I've got in my sauce there. All I'm going to do now is just simmer that down, just digging the rest of the honey out. So the hot sauce and the sweet of the honey hopefully will give that quite a nice different mixture. Didn't ask for any herbs or anything in there. I thought it might. Oh, some butter as well. A couple of tablespoons of butter, which I'll put in now. And we are good to go. So all I need to do now is mix that in and get it on the stove and let that simmer down. And once it is simmered down, I'll let it just sit. It'll hopefully thicken up a bit and then I'll glaze the ribs with it once they've been in for about 5 hours with an hour or so to go. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, that has all mixed in really nicely. It's simmering down. Just going to leave that on really low heat for an hour or so just to let it simmer away and then turn it off. And when the ribs are ready at that point, I will go out and start glazing. Okay, and we are done. Now I've got my Louisiana style pork ribs here. You can see really great bark on them. A really, really good smoke ring. I've actually had a little taste before I came on camera, so you didn't have to hear it through the microphone, but they're really well cooked too, I will say myself. They're nice and juicy, and I like mine a little bit chewy. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't wrap these because I do like mine a little bit chewier. I don't like them all fall off the bone type thing. I'll get my chief taste tester in to come and have a try. But as I mentioned, I've already tried these and I found them to be, again, very different than what I'm used to with the way I've always cooked pork ribs. I've always been very sugar heavy. for that nice sweet. This has got a really sweet and sour type taste. It's
really savoury.
yeah, we don't eat a lot of Cajun type food, and I've only tried these a couple of times in the US, as I mentioned, but it is what I remember it being. I can taste the herbs in it, I can taste the chili, I can taste the sweet, the slight sweet of the honey, and there's a little kick on the back of my, on my lips here at the moment as well, a little tingle on my lips. So I tell you what, if you, again, like the Texas ones I did recently, if you're looking for something different in your pork ribs, if you're used to just doing it like I was, you know, brown sugar and a bit of this, bit of that, then these Louisiana style are well worth the effort. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on the Louisiana style because I really like it. We will see what else we can do it with. But anyway, that's my Louisiana pork ribs.